All right, so we had a lot of fun putting this out last week on our normal channel. So we actually, results were mixed. Some folks liked that we did this, some folks didn't like that we did this. So I actually decided, let's just make a new channel. Let's make a channel that's just for looking at long-term charting, applying some of the lessons we've learned in volatility from the crypto market to playing regular stocks. And February 2021, regular stocks looking pretty volatile, everything looking kind of similar to the crypto market. So let's take a look here at how this trade played out. Had been buying into CTRM since back in November, December period. Took that, you see that first large big candle in December, took a lot of profits off of that. I mean, a lot is relative, but so let's take a look at how this played out. Reminder, as always, this is not financial advice. What I do is very explicitly look at trades that I am setting up and or just look at market conditions. And frankly, one of the things I'll do is I will try to analyze all sides of the argument. Like you see here, I do have the uh, measured down move to, adjust my strategy, and that's uh, that's whatever. You might not like how I chart. You might think I'm missing things in a chart. I don't really care. Um, but let's take a look. So I was in the macro sense, looking at hopefully sort of head and shoulders pattern finishing up, starting, in this period uh, where we were 14 to 17 cents and started accumulating some down here, thinking, hey, if we do this full move back up to 67 cents range, we are going to be sitting pretty. And I finally published this chart back on January 22nd when things started to move because it was getting interesting, and thought, hey, put it out there, take a look at the potentiality here in the rest of the trade, another 65% up to 70, 287% if you're holding kind of from the 17 cents range. So let's go ahead and play through. We'll see what happens. And to today, we're sitting right above this little support. So it's always cool when you see the uh, work that you're doing in technical analysis play out. Obviously, technical analysis is not the be all end all. It's not a science or anything. It's not always correct. But often it does tend to make interesting guesses. Like you see, we break above, and probably a good argument that we've flipped this 67, 65 range. That this is flipped support. So when I do my next look at this sort of at CTRM and go in and redo the chart, probably will flip that to green and then look on a longer time frame to see what we're expecting. Honestly, I'm curious, really curious to see where we go from here. I know the company had some good news recently. They've acquired a new ship. I think everywhere that they go depends on what's going on in the broader market with COVID and international trade, because it is a maritime company. They own shipping vessels. So this is a place where technical analysis sort of meets fundamental analysis. We've got a large, very normal appearing head and shoulders pattern. Um, and from there, we could eventually retrace a little bit, or think probably potentially going straight up to $1. The stock is at or having a discussion of or I don't know what you call the process, but the Nasdaq issued them a letter that they need to get the stock to $1. So um, I was happy to get this move move up towards $1 before they did anything like a reverse split. Um, so very interesting stuff going on right now. If you watch this video all the way through and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I just started doing this stuff live for fun, but I've enjoyed markets for a long time. Um, been charting for quite a while. Everyone's got their own little sort of different style of charting, and I'm very big into longer plays. Like you'll notice here that I'm this is a 1 day time frame. We're looking at almost a whole quarter. And we're looking more than a quarter if we're going from July. And like I think this chart plays out on even like the year time frame. If we have the inverse, it seems possible that we would make a shoulder and then we would go down, um, or we would go up. I mean, down on the head and shoulders pattern. So it's an interesting one to watch. I'm not done with it per se. Uh, just as everything, kind of cools down off the GameStop news, tend to think that um, thinking that market action is over is usually a way that I miss the market action. So I'm trying to be keen as things move forward here, um, and more than that, I'm trying to be long. I'm trying to find areas to be long, and I think CTRM, I don't know that I'd be looking for a new entry, but I'm really not looking for much of an exit anytime soon. I think this one, I'm going to be really happy if we get back to this $2 range. So, well, that's what I got to think here. What do you think of my read? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Are you upset I don't have fib lines drawn on here? I think they'd be pretty close to what I'm looking at, but uh, I've just always been a big support and resistance fan and a long time frame fan. So, I might trade differently than you, but that's all right. Let me know what you see here, and leave me a comment. Leave me a comment, subscribe, toss me a like. Hopefully, I keep making more of these for fun. So, thanks all.